Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming this morning. It's pretty cold to walk over here this morning. I just wanted to introduce a team this week that started with an A3 that Jeff Gully actually started. Jeff has been with the CI team for about 12 weeks, and today is his last official day. He's graduating back into his work,
That's right.
normal work. So this A3, this A3 was about the, as you can see, the support services tool crib. And Jeff saw an opportunity, and the team will explain a little bit about that. And I think they did a phenomenal job this week, really identifying flow within the crib, and then also applying 6S to that once they identified what that was. So with that, I'd like to ask the team to come on up front.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Support Services Tool Crib RIE Report Out. I'd like to introduce the team. We have Marcus Dominguez, Bobby Guntharp, Casey Strickland, Ryan Slayton, Steve Holder. And not here with us today is Jason Hopkins and Joe Clean. We want to give a special thanks to Jeff Folio, who helped us out in the tool crib while Casey was out working with us getting this done. We want to thank the metal shop personnel who helped us build racks and other items that we needed, a table. Josh and Dan from the print shop, who I leaned on heavily before the event started, and anybody we may have missed. And I wanted to add the CI team that helps with these every time and never gets much thanks, but without them, this doesn't really happen and happen as fluidly as it does. Our reason for action, why did we do the tool crib? We noticed that there was inefficiencies with the process. We wanted to make standard work and SOPs and implement those.
So we implemented the 6S's that you can see up here, setting it up when we, using all these strategies, as you can see, rolling into the next slide. See, look at that, too quick. So we looked at it and we noticed that the flow and the way the tool crib was set up when we did our current state wasn't as efficient as it could be. We found that we didn't have standard work. That kind of broken picture there with the money is showing that we really don't know what our criteria was to replace or repair tools. So we got to the target state. Our target state was to make a clear, concise communication with the customer. They know what tools we have. It's an easy flow to go get it, and the whole process is more efficient.
And this slide represents the process we use to identify the best option for the tool crib in regards to organization, flow, and safety. We were split into two teams to come up with many alternatives to make the tool crib more efficient. And then from those many alternatives, we were then asked to create hybrids from those, which we then collectively brought together to create the final layout, which turned out great.
Steve Holder and I got together, and he walked me through the steps to establish standard work, and we also came up with the final tool crib sign in and sign out log.
These are the two before and after spaghetti diagrams that we did. You can see that we had the cycle time per request was about 3 minutes, and after the reconfiguration we got it down to just over a minute. And this was the beginning process of removing the shelves so we could open up the aisleways and then repurpose on the front side and then get rid of some of the equipment that didn't need to be in there.
Some of our safety concerns that we came across, this is just 6 of them, but simple as items on top of shelves, ladders not secured to the walls or cabinets, and one of the main things that we did was this shelving under the overhead door. We completely removed it, so for access of forklift, easier inside, in and out. Floors slippery when wet. It's a good album. And we all came with an idea to pretty much put all the most frequently requested items towards the front counter that could be accessed through the front counter. and the larger items in the back. Just another example of things being too high, fall hazards. So we remove the shelving completely so people will not be tempted at all to put anything up there. The example of the ladders just sitting on the ground, not secure, and the metal shop fabbed up some really nice brackets, so now they're anchored to the back wall. And my personal favorite, the core drill section. Before, there was about 5 different pieces that you would need to complete a core drill, and now it's all on one shelf, one area, one-stop shop.
This is our red tag area. Before we started this process, we had 5 pallets plus. Between getting everybody together, we have 1. So that worked out perfect. Well, when we first started, the whole back wall, that's where all the large floor items went. So now we opened that up. We were able to open up more room on the floor. So now every item has its own designated area. And that's what she looked like before. And there she is.
So the metrics we used to find that we were doing a good job, we wanted to identify multiple safety improvements. We found 6 of them, which was a 100% improvement from nothing. We improved our 6S score, and there was a lot of discussion on math this week. So we did improve our 6S score. We wanted a 80% success score, and we came up with 85, which that's all the team's work is related in that 85%. Cycle time, we started out, like Marcus said, 3 minutes to get a tool, and now we're down to 69 seconds. And then the distance traveled, you can just see the improvement that this team made with their hard work and diligence. So a completion plan, we have just a few items to take care of. Inventory list, we need to complete our inventory list for the entire tool crib. We need to get a rack for the red tag area so it's not on a pallet anymore. Hooks for the housekeeping tools. Create permanent aisle signage. So like if you were to walk into a Home Depot or King Soopers, you're going to see aisle signage. It's going to be the same kind of an idea there. And then set up a metric board so we can keep track of our process and maintain it and sustain it. So insights from the week. The team worked well together. We couldn't have picked a better group of people to be in this team, and I'm so impressed at how hard they worked, and just the things that came out of their brains was impressive. Good processes can create good efficiency. I learned how big an impact success can be on an area. New people's names. We met new people and learned their names, and we'll continue to communicate with them. So it's getting people together who might not have a reason to get together. We're feeling satisfied, accomplished, and helpful. And then the core values, we touched on these 4, but my thoughts were we touched on all of them. Mostly vision. The tool crib is set up for success in the future. Everything we did was born out of ideas and preparation and experiences. Respect, we had mutual respect, and we took pride in what we were able to accomplish to benefit us in the future. Are there any questions? Bill?
Some of the marked off areas that were marked off with tape, are those going to be painted permanent lines, or are those still in tape, or still moving stuff around till you get it settled?
So the questions about the large tool area, we put tape down, and we're going to probably leave tape down because we want the ability to move things. If we paint it, then it's kind of locked in. Rob, I think you had a question.
Actually, we're probably going to go into the history of how we ended up doing this problem, where we came from, because there's some people besides.
Sure. So the question is, how did the tool crib come to be? Is that fair? How did the tool crib come to be? And what was the process before?
Yes.
Okay. So the process before was it was pretty much siloed. Every department had their own tool area, and each department took care of their own tools, so they would red tag or replace, repair their own tools. And when we moved in for the OCR to the new trade shops, it became an entire tool crib for the entire trade shop. And this is the process we created. So instead of each individual shop taking care of their tools, now there's a centralized location where the tools are accessible, they can be red tagged and looked at and repaired when needed. Did that answer your question? Anything else? Brian, please.
Yeah, what's your process going to be for sustaining, since those have been through success processes before? One of the hardest parts is to keep it going long-term, and we've seen some, like customer service field, that were very successful, and other areas that, you go back a month later and it's all gone to heck again. So I'm curious, like, how often are you going to do your inspections, and who's going to do those? And I'm asking kind of for a selfish reason, because we're about to do success on the entire admin building in Quibus too, and when we start to do that,
Oh, boy.
when we start to do that, I want to make sure that things don't intend to reaccumulate prior to the move. So I'm
Okay.
curious.
I'm going to let Steve Holder answer that question.
Great question, Brian. Fantastic. So your question was, how do we sustain this? Well, some of the standard work that we came up with, like the red tag area, for example, it's going to be on a 30-day cycle. So as things are identified, broke, or need repair, what do we need to do with it? So that'll be on a 30-day cycle with Rob and the other supervisors. And we're going to see if that interval works. Maybe we need to do it more. Maybe 30 days is a good time frame. We're also going to continue to do success audits. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So we're going to do audits on those. That's part of myself with Casey and Joe, establishing a metric board so that we're constantly re-looking at it, and just that our, what is working, what is not working, and just that, don't let it just go to the wayside. So we're going to constantly revisit it monthly, and possibly, the interval might be less. But that's our goal going forward. Does that answer it, Brian? Audits monthly for sure, at the very minimum. Okay.
Are you going to incorporate all this into the trade storage in Building 5, which is supposed to be part of the tool crib?
So, Bill, your question, the reason we're repeating it, so it's all on tape. Yeah, are we going to take a look at the same idea of Building 5? And that is a big yes. Rob and I have talked about that. We're going to re-attack Building 5 and see maybe some of that. We don't know what that's going to look like, how much of that's going to incorporate into what we have in the tool crib, or how much of that is just larger storage. But same idea, Bill, that it's not just put across or put away to gather dust and forget about.
Just one more point to what Brian was asking. We have the right people in the job. So Casey cares about the crib, so that's a big part of it, putting the right person in the position. So that's a good point to keep sustainment going too. Is there anything else? I think I was going to hand it off to Rob Richmeyer. I think he had something to say, since he came in on his day off.
Very proud of the team this week. They did an excellent job. I went down there various times. A lot of hard work, because actually the tool room is underneath all the offices of the supervisors. We could hear a lot of hammer drilling and so forth. So it was good. Just a little bit of history. Trades has been sending up supervisors leads for a 12-week mini camp, maxi camp, whatever they want to call it.
Boot camp.
Boot camp. Steve Holder went up the first round. Now he's back and he's helping our team. And then Jeff, his last day is today.
Last days today.
Justin Pyle, however you pronounce it. How do you pronounce his last name? Pyle. He'll be going up next, and then so forth. We keep rotating. So the more we get through the process of learning CI, the better trades is going to keep sustaining. So very proud of all of you. Thank you for your hard work this week, all of you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out the day before Christmas break. We appreciate it, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you.